Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Did you know that my bloody audio preamp fucking died out of nowhere? I mean, I couldn't use it anyways properly. I think it just did the audio even worse than it would be. It's not like this is a sign that I should stop, no? Nah. I just gotta keep digging. There surely is a lot of cool stuff. And as everyone knows, BEDROCK ain't that hard. I get it? Just keep on finding treasure, yeah. So now starts this exciting layer, yeah. Not like we will all regret pushing to it. No, another lot of great stuff awaits. By that I mean tasteless humor, lame sex jokes, won't even show off the parts. Still I'm a prude even for crazy. Go jerk off somewhere else. Jerk offs. Now layer 7. BEDROCK, like they're in a bed that they rocking me. That's it. Rock bottom. Medusa, Stein, Spirit, Devil's threesome. Imagine being a lazy fat middle schooler, getting back from school and just wasting away by watching hours upon hours of the worst sitcom sludge imaginable. What could possibly go wrong here? One of the pearls of knowledge, or something from an episode of How I Met Your Mother about a devil's threesome, where the joke is the two guys have sex with one woman. Like, you get it? No looking at each other in the eyes, supposedly. I guess that explains why they needed to concentrate so hard. That's the joke. But the fight in the catacombs wasn't just full of sexual tension between Medusa and Stein, literally ending with a climax, lighting a cigarette after the fact as if it was straight out of Family Guy's cutaway to classics. But Spirit had the hots for Medusa too, and I don't know the whole Spirit Stein gay bisexual thing, Spirit being naked, I don't know. What is the point of this? Is this funny? Funny to me? Funny to you? Should I cancel this? No, there is something better. There must be something here left else. Just have to keep digging. The next entry will blow us all away, right? Black blood. Really? First Family Guy, now South Park humor? But I guess with a less inflammatory name there could be some truth to it. No, at least some plausibility, if one is drunk. Cause if the whole resonance thing is partly a metaphor for relationships, even romantic and physical ones, in at least certain cases, how else would somebody describe an infection that's connecting with blood and spreads through physical intimacy? It's giving STD, right? Do people still say that it's giving thing? I always say that. I mean, I guess Medusa really overdid the Cartman thing then. But okay, it doesn't really work when Maka is immune to the disease. It gets used for a power boost. Another epic joke. XD, next entry, bazinga. Maka Oedipus complex? Do not research. This is what I get for not stopping when I should. I guess this is what I deserve. So, guess you could also say Electra. I think this is the name when it's a girl. But nah, I'm not meaning this in a literal way anyways. But in the more often used kind of fall in love with people that remind you of one of your parents thing, just a little bit too much. It may sound stupid at first, but let's start with looking at the two canon, or better said, the two that have any legit story reasons beyond smiling or interacting with each other. Possible romantic interest for Mark. Of course Soul, and more controversially Crona. So Soul, the obvious parallel of being a sad like Maka's dad, who also was fueled by her mother. Also Spirit's wannabe smooth womanizer behavior reminds one of Soul's too cool for school attitude. Prologue chapter even made the comparison, the whole point of Soul acting as lustful as Spirit when seeing Blur, and Maka's breakdown being motivated by feeling that all men are like her dad. Drawing a parallel between her feelings to her father to those with Soul. Basically Soul, by not betraying her, is acting like a redeemed version of her father. Which is kinda weird if you think about it. But now Crona. Well, Soul seems to reflect Spirit's lady, man confidence, and other more cool traits. Crona is the flip side. The side of Spirit that is pathetic, whiny, self-doubting, and living in regret. Only wanting to desperately make things right, while acting in an overly needy way. But even in physical traits, I noticed that Crona's hairstyle feels kinda similar to Spirit's. Only the pink being like a less dangerous version of the deep red of her father. Another aspect is that there is a parallel made, at least in the anime, between Crona's betrayal and Spirit's betrayal. I mean sleeping around and ruining the marriage. After returning to the DWMA with Crona from the desert, Maka explicitly calls out her dad that they forgave him. So what's the difference here? In a way, it seems like Crona's in a way for Maka the perfect model to train her forgiveness through proxy, or to live out some kind of fixing of the reputation and redemption of her dad. Also, for those that say any of these characters being inclined to have feelings for each other is just obese fangirl delusions. So Maka literally often are willing to sacrifice each other's life for the other, taking multiple deadly blows, calling each other partner, blushing, the whole stupid mini arc of Maka wanting to be treated like Oxstreet's Kim, who officially became a couple at that point, by Soul living in the same flat, Maka getting jealous of how Blair treats Soul, the horrible tropes of tsundere, they really love each other, etc. While Crona is Maka's literal end goal in a way in the manga. They call out each other on their mutual obsession. With finding and saying one another, they both blush at each other multiple times. Maka even makes some weird sound after Crona does the whole white knight "I protect you" routine. Crona literally says that he doesn't care about being a mass genocider, but will live in endless fear just for Maka's sake. The whole beach mental scene and hand-holding, the anime-specific ending, the anime-specific artwork, this other artwork where they hold hands, Crona sacrificing the life for Maka in the anime, and all the other shit I think I actually mentioned a lot, but I wrote this previously, so that's why this shit is just a repetition of everything else. But I guess I had to make the point clear, so yeah. Also the enemies to lovers trope. I don't know, fuck Freud, he was probably... Well, not fuck him, because they shouldn't talk ill of the dead. But I don't know, people say it was just projecting delusions and perversity of the bourgeoisie. And I kinda believe that. So, I don't know, I guess it just shows how fucked I am. Them trying to kinda slander Maka like that for no reason. But, I don't know. Maybe one shouldn't research that. Maybe one just shouldn't. Start of the evening. Oh, finally not something related to what 10-year-olds think about sex is after watching late night TV. But maybe this is worse. I mean, what the fuck is this even supposed to mean? Why would this religious symbol even be here? Wait a minute. It does show up with witches. The evil group. Maybe it's just a persona, Jungian occult connection, or if there's anything else to tie it all together. Not like there are any other harmful stereotypes, no, that couldn't be true. Soul Leader's Nazi propaganda, the Star Clan Holocaust, literally killing off a whole clan. Tribe of people, it being justified in the story as, oh, they were greedy and evil anyways, it's all good, with people literally throwing coins at Blackstar, throwing him out of their village, the witches being scheming manipulators who hide the shadows, can camouflage and commit literal blood libel, the town of wizards loyal to arachnophobia being literal creators of golems, the mythical Jewish figure of emancipation against anti-Semitic persecution, the whole premise of Lord Death working with Avon in the past for technological advancements, ending in a literal explosion, Project Paperclip, the ties modern America has to an undercurrent of Nazi ideology. Is this the real reason why Kid loves the number 8? And why the chapter 88 was actually important? The infamous Nazi dog whistle of Heil Hitler, the 8th letter of the alphabet? Is this why Kid is obsessed with symmetry and blonde women? Why the protagonist has blonde hair and a German name? Albern meaning ridiculous as the Nazis found other people because they were so sure of the genocidal superiority? Black blood being literally coded as something bad, stopping its spread, racist Maka through all along, Lord Death's hood, not white, but a white mask, still it's pointing, maybe it's due to him being the secret highest rank of the Ku Klux Klan, maybe that's why the witches and wizards don't like each other. Is there also the real reason for all the Hinduism connections hidden here? Esoteric Azuris? Was Brew in actuality not whatever bullshit I said previously, but the Glocke or the V2 rocket? The witches of the East being killed, like Hitler's plan for Lebensraum, which considered Eastern Europeans as Untermenschen, who deserve to be wiped out so the Reaper race can sow in peace? And why did Sid, one of the few African Americans, die so mysteriously? Was it all just because of his color of his skin? Is Killick just kept for PR reason? Them saying, he's one of the good ones. Also, is the Lost Island Hyperborea? Why is the moon so prominent? Is this a reference to the infamous co-opting of the iconic Mac Tonight character? Internet Nazis turning him into the extremely racist and offensive Moonman? And Excalibur is all white and described as the perfect weapon? Okay, you get it. It's Ajax. I'm not seriously claiming this. And this is not some dog whistle, but just maybe tasteless humor as always. Especially when I ain't the biggest fan of those Nazis myself. Or they probably would just kill me for being a cripple, or for my ethnicity, or for my mental illness, which is proven by me making this all. But will this be just another epic joke? Well, partially. But jokes aside, there is a genuine discussion about some weird decisions made by Okubo, especially with the context of Fire Force. And yet the Japanese Japanese nationalist faction gets always shown as the good guys, as those fighting against westernization. It's understandable. It is a foreign culture colonizing them again and changing their beliefs and customs. It seems more than that, especially how romanticized it gets and all the real life connections. But again, this could be just a bit of cultural overconfidence. But what isn't is one of the weirdest consequences of the ending of Fire Force. For, it is pointed out, the characters besides the nationalists have begun to use the naming order which is the same as the Western one. After the New World, suddenly everyone uses the Japanese one again. And with Solida being the perfect world, well, it's the perfect world, one where Japan kinda won in the context of World War II. I don't know, it sounds kinda, if you know what they did. Also don't know where else to put this. I remember that they teased the American Werewolf in London thing. There is this whole analysis of it, saying it's about Jewish anxiety about being seen as the other. So if Okubo based free on him and made him a villain who was okay with killing people in a very nonchalant way. I mean, okay, this doesn't even work as a joke, but I guess if he was really a Nazi, you could say he was that deep into it. But back to the script. Could the whole Western cult of aliens be rewritten as something else due to pressure from the magazine to not push such extreme nationalistic leaning? Making the story literally about evil scheming forces compared to bugs and cockroaches subverting your nation with a fake religion. Starting to sound similar to anti-Semitic conspiracies about globalists using Christianity to install meekness to take over the based pagans or something. Yet I will admit it is also mostly circumstantial. And to make such accusation, that is too much, especially with all the counter-evidence, like Okubo actually including more people of color as characters than most of his contemporaries, and making them both competent, distinct, not caricatured, yet also not just sonic recolors. So once uses compares, even the stereotypical looking background characters can be dismissed as just gorillas references, and the culture context being different. I mean, if a super big band got away with the red lips, and it actually knows the whole blackface thing from its own history, how can you shit on Okubo for doing the same? And the Starkland thing probably is just a coincidence. I mean, I don't know. But the witch and the village thing could be also about just cultural conflict as a basis for a story's message of reconciliation, of people that hated and destroyed each other for 800 years. I mean, it's an interesting thought. So yeah, please don't take this too seriously. There is an interesting discussion about certain views of Okubo on considering nationalism, but to accuse him of being some Nazi shouldn't be done, especially when there's an actual undeniable, much more serious and provable allegation in the next layer. For this one, let's go back to digging for scraps. Hee hee ha ha's. Fisher King self-suck. Like, what the fuck is this supposed to be? I saw that one Fisher King movie and I don't think it was inspired by it. Is this some allegory? Or was Okubo just high and thought nobody would notice? I don't know, next entry. Or maybe there is that alien guy what's the guy name? Where he was drawing dicks. That's gonna be high art. Info How funny. The author put his fetish into a manga for kids. And that wacky. But I don't know, this is even overused for jokes. I remember using the blurred out, directed by Quentin Tarantino, when the movie focused on souls and shit. I don't know. With Okubo, yeah, there's Medusa being bare feet all the time. Maka for some reason gets shown barefoot suspiciously off. Maybe it's all jokes. Not like he did the whole manga focus on there's even a part of a wacky old pervert upset with being kicked in the face. How funny. But seriously, jokes aside, isn't that kinda, I don't know, just do we need to know this? Like, I will be honest, I suspect a certain fetishes that is way more disturbing too, that is included in this manga, but maybe that's one we shouldn't dig further. Maybe some stuff should be just left to be unknown. Like what I'm doing here, talking about sexual fixations in a children's comic. Is there a point to this? Am I better than these shitty anime accounts who make these porn jokes all the time, as if they don't drive everybody to the edge of despair? There is a point to this, right? Sadly, maybe yes.
I won't sell on my feet. I just follow no bitch, not on her feet. Oh, you stepping to us? That is a feat. Yeah, that nigga is dancing. I shot at his feet.
Grape Soda?
So, as it turns out, Crona is the grape soda. And the reason for this being is when you grow grape, it's a given that it will come out very sweet and sour.
Please shut up. I think I can explain.
Well, people always ask me why they call me the grape soda. Well, here's what happened. Basically, I came back from the dungeon, and Medusa was waiting for me. And this witch said,
You figured the grape soda, Crona? You're not even the cam! This master got messy bangs. Borderline rat tails.
This Meister Grape Soda. This Meister Carbonation. Can't be a flat rock.
My sis called me the Grape Soda.
They called him the Rock!
When I was a kid, the dudes who looked me in a dark room would mom the Grape Soda.
They called him the Rock! A concoction of sorts.
Sean is the can, because he's married up to powder.
My son is the Grape Soda. I am the can. I'm crazy as fuck. Lock me up in the can.
Pedo Mifune? I wish I'm just overthinking this one. Basically, Mifune seems to be protective of kids, which is great, but then I started to think, why is Angela's last name Leon? Isn't her animal a lizard? Well, then I remember this scene from that old Red Letter Media Plinkett review, which first I didn't realize was a fucked up joke. I thought, oh, maybe she was 18 in it. He meant kid in that, you know, like baby way. So basically I thought, this is just part of the fucked up story of Plinkett being a depraved psychopath? Or why did he make this connection in the first place? And I started googling and I found a whole rabbit hole, which is too gross to say out loud too much, but simplified. For now I thought to watch the film, find more connections, but after it all I was just too disgusted. So could Ogwa have done this on purpose? To make Mifune's motives a lot more sinister? Protecting a girl while actually being the biggest threat for her? I hope not. And I think not. It probably was just a throwaway reference. But I know I make many edgy jokes here. Maybe this topic's just a bit too serious. If I ever talk about a dark topic like this, then there will be a point where I will warn everybody. Advance. Sadly, this is a hint. Very sad one.
Incel Okubo theory, based on a comment left by me.
Lost. I was joking then, and I'm right now. Probably, am I? Am I really? Basically, the theory was that instead of Crona getting stuck in the moon and saying,
lol, I didn't do anything wrong here,
it wasn't because of the author pussyfooting between not wanting to either redeem or condemn Crona, living on this unsatisfying in-between thing, where I guess one can say either Maka saved the world by girl-bossing a psycho into doing something useful, or either it's a emo super self-sacrifice, with Crona only saving the world so Maka feels bad, like everyone wins or something. But what if there is a weird option yet? What if we remember Cell and Crona are false? Cell is kinda self-insert character, with the love of music and trying to be cool and all. Then Crona is too. What if then Crona's words aren't the words of a messed up kid, but a messed up adult? What if this was Okubo's point? He feels that the world is bad, undeserving of survival. And yes, the masculines are not bad enough in comparison to it, because in the end the world didn't give him a pigtail's wife. It's all the same. Such a cruel world deserves everything it gets, even the supreme gentleman. But nah, I mean, you know why I included this. It's not like I have some serious agenda against Okubo, right? I guess that's just what one can dig up in the depths of one's psyche. Whatever the fuck this thing I found on the Cellular Wiki is.
Japanese fiction aimed at men has a Panty-type classification system for female characters. Roughly speaking, female characters that are childish or sexually immature are likely to wear plain white panties of practical size, or even little large. Female characters that are women or sexually active wear small and subtly decorated panties. Female characters that are in between, sexually mature but not active, which is usually tied to unrefined behavior, wear striped panties, also known as shimapan. In this chapter, Liz is shown to wear fine underwear, marking her as a woman, while Patty's striped underwear communicates she's not interested in sexual activity yet. Chapter 1 will show that Sabeki Nakatsukasa is on Liz's level, while Maka Albarn is still sexually immature. This classification is reflected in several later moments in the manga, like the events of the Lust chapter during the Salvage arc. What the fuck, this isn't OKKK at all.
Madness of boobs style of this. If we really wanna put anything in here, let's go with this. Normally I wouldn't talk about teenager breast sizes, but so you started. Anyway, so Crona has the epic madness of boobs things at the end, right? But there is the undeniable Maka Crona thing, even if you don't ship it. Let's be real here. So isn't it weird that Crona's madness is directly tied to something that Maka has insecurities about? Like a signal to her. Oh, I guess you're talking your sweet time to get me off the moon. Guess I'll go gonna do my stand-up routine more. But I don't know, maybe this was funny in my head. As chapter 113 was innocuous. So Leader Roblox? You're such a fucking hoe, I love it. Soul Eater Kart 64? Did you know that Mario Kart 64 originally was supposed to be licensed for a Soul Eater game called... Why I'm doing this? How often do I scoff at others being that unfunny? Yet this joke, it isn't even original, I know. But worse, it's not funny even if it would be. The saddest thing is, it probably would be if I just have showed the game without anything else. Maybe this shit that I do now would be funny if I was 12, but even then, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. What am I even digging for? What reward am I expecting? A blue shell?
Death the girls? Well, the original isn't called Death the Boys. In my head, internalized sexism as a name.
But yeah, isn't it weird how pandering that arc was with the whole gender bender thing? Oh, you didn't stoop one step lower. Imagine all the merchandise opportunities. Because I'll have to just say one word to him. Thank you that you didn't do it. Thank God too. But wait, could it actually be that Okubo is a secret monk? The only included fan service in other instances, due to knowing that without it the series will never get popular. Hence why his previous work didn't have as much fan service, and it failed. Sex sells after all. That is giving him way too much. I wish it was, Wish it was all jokes, all just jokes. The shadow was Ragnarok. The emotion everyone has. During the Inner Desert Soul World segment, you saw Crona, but no Ragnarok, just a shadow. So it's just Crona's other side, not Ragnarok. Yet if Ragnarok never was real, maybe that's what he always was. Just the self-loathing of Crona, which first tried to be gentle, to make Crona leave the self-imposed boundaries, only to be sent away, passed away, as a lonely baller to play with, nobody to receive it. Since the real reason for the abrasiveness of Ragnarok is the emotion, actually something like that sometimes everyone feels, even you and me, to show the real sadness of everyone involved, just being edgy for the sake anyways, pushing everyone away, even yourself and your sand, not even dealing with that. Is that its meaning?
Nah, no, it's like epic, like the emotion is come! It's like Pol Pot, epic killer, how it's crack. Yeah, this layer is just people, hee pee pee ha. No time for anything else, just keep it digging, just not in the desert of the real. Don't wanna find anything here, goopy.
See, there was a lot of stuff, just keep pushing. It's all just edgy humor, the same one that ruined or saved the internet, escalating back and forth. Yet it isn't. We have to go through. The hard rocks already starting to suffer, as if they were melting, so the show must go on. But the next one will be too hot to handle, worthy of hellfire. Because it's no more jokes with a serious fucked up subject. But it has to be done. This drill will go through all of Tartarus, if it has to.